A Reddit post titled, "Am I overreacting for walking out on my sister after I promised to help babysit?" has captured the attention of thousands of readers. After sacrificing her entire weekend to help her sister care for a baby, the younger sister was accused of being useless and not helping at all. Hurt and deeply disappointed, she decided to pack her things and leave that very night. Was she overreacting, or was someone else truly in the wrong? Let's dive into the story and find out. My sister, 29F, asked me, 27F, to stay at her house from Friday night through Sunday to help with her 7-month-old while her husband, Bill, was on a cottage trip. I agreed, despite the long commute, bringing my WFH gear, and leaving my 3 pets at home. Sunday is also our grandma's big birthday party, where she'd need extra help getting ready and traveling with the baby. Friday. I arrived after work. My nephew was already asleep, and my Bill was actually still home because he got called into work late. Since both parents were there and the baby was down, I just hung out and watched a movie. Saturday. Bill left early. I clocked into my WFH shift, spent my lunch break playing with my nephew and making us sandwiches, and finished my shift. After work, her in-laws visited to play with the baby, so I took a shower. Once my sister put the baby to bed, I ran a quick errand to a friend's house and stayed for about an hour chatting. My mom also came over to tailor our outfits for Grandma's party. Since my mom and sister took the lead on this, I mostly kept the cat away and stayed out of the way until needed. After this was done, we were getting ready for bed when my sister snapped, starting to ramble about how I didn't help at all and saying I was useless and didn't help with anything. I argued back that I was prepared to help, but she never asked for specific help. I didn't know she wanted me to clean for her, and I wasn't going to do it on my own because touching her things has upset her in the past. She then called me a terrible sister and said I only made plans with my friends and helped them. I do help my friends, but they communicate their needs to me. She said she wanted to shower, but no one was watching the baby. However, the baby was asleep upstairs, and I was sitting beside the monitor, so I didn't understand that either. She just kept ranting about how I was useless and how she helped me. But I just did my own thing. I did do my own stuff. To be fair, I also had to attend the party, so I had to get my things ready as well. But I did it when the baby was preoccupied. Frustrated that I sacrificed my weekend and left my pets home alone just to be berated, I confirmed with my mom that she was sleeping over, then decided to leave. My sister replied, telling me to leave and not come back, so I packed up and drove home. My mom called during my drive home, asking me to come back and saying my sister was just stressed. I feel bad leaving her to deal with the baby and party prep alone, especially after she helped with my outfit. But I felt disrespected after taking time out of my weekend only to be called useless for taking a shower and running errands while the baby was already preoccupied. Am I overreacting? Below are some of the most upvoted comments from Reddit, offering different perspectives on the situation. Let's see what other users had to say. Not overreacting. On the first night, your brother-in-law, the baby's father, was still there. So there really wasn't much reason for you to step in. His absence was the whole reason your sister asked you to come. The next day, you had to work from home. Wasn't your sister already aware of that? During your lunch break, you spent time with your nephew. After work, her in-laws were watching the baby, and you didn't visit your friend until after the baby was asleep. Your mom came over to tailor outfits with your sister. You didn't do much during that time. But again, you were there primarily to help with the baby. It doesn't sound like you had many opportunities to actually help with the baby. It seems more likely that your sister wanted help with other things around the house but never communicated that to you. Your sister sounds completely overwhelmed and ended up taking her frustration out on you. You are not overreacting. Your sister is way overreacting. She's 29 years old and needs how many people to help her manage one baby? As a military spouse, my husband is retired now. I'm wondering if your sister needs help tying her shoes. Good grief, she sounds like a child. Honestly, I would have said a lot more before walking out. And what on earth is your mom doing or saying? I'll absolutely apologize if your sister has underlying issues or is, to put it politely, on the autism spectrum. Otherwise, she really shouldn't have any more children if she can't handle the one she has without an army of people doing everything for her. Try having your husband deployed overseas for an entire year, dealing with his skin cancer diagnosis, raising 2 small kids on your own, living on the opposite side of the country from all your family, working a full-time job, and preparing for orders to move to another state. I sold 1 house and bought another 5 states away, all by myself. So yes, I have very little sympathy for someone struggling through half a weekend with 1 baby while surrounded by family willing to help. What an absolute nightmare of a sister. Not overreacting. I honestly don't understand why she needed help in the first place. Trust me, women and men do it all the time. Why was it your responsibility to begin with? The baby is 7 months old, not 7 days old. She's being completely unreasonable and mean over something that, in my opinion, she shouldn't have asked you to do in the first place. If she can't handle her 7-month-old by herself for 1 weekend, I really hope she's not planning on having any more children. I understand that traveling to the party would have been stressful, but being a parent is stressful. Didn't she know that? Plus, your mom was there too. To me, it sounds like she simply doesn't want to take care of her own child. Not overreacting. I understand postpartum. It's an absolute roller coaster with all the hormonal changes, and she probably didn't mean what she said. She may even regret it once the fog clears. The problem is that she still said it. I'm a big believer in the saying, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. In other words, it's not her fault that she felt overwhelmed and stressed, but it is her responsibility to handle those feelings like an adult, not throw a tantrum because she didn't clearly communicate what she needed and then get upset when you couldn't read her mind. It's up to her to reflect on her behavior and decide whether she's mature enough to apologize. Personally, I would have loved to have a sister come and support me for an entire weekend. She truly doesn't realize how fortunate she was to have that kind of help. Not overreacting. If your sister expected you to do specific things, she should have made a list or at least communicated her needs clearly. I see so many women on Reddit posting about needing help. In reality, managing a household and caring for a baby shouldn't be that overwhelming once you get past the first couple of months. By 7 months old, a baby should usually have some routines and schedules in place. Your mom may want to take a closer look at what's really going on with your sister. Is she dealing with depression, a health issue, or does she simply struggle with organization? Do you think the younger sister's reaction was justified, or did she overreact? If you were in her situation, would you have stayed or walked away? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next story.